Hi guys, my name is Peter from Art of Physio, and in this video I'm going to take you through some drills to optimize the hip rotation that you have. So hip rotation is really important to allow you to absorb force but also to create force in, for example, running or jumping or any kind of movements where you use your hip. And oftentimes in training we focus a lot on very linear stuff, so split squats or running straight, but actually the ability to rotate is what's really going to unlock a lot of the potential that you have in your hip. And especially if you feel any kind of pinching in your hip or you have trouble with pain on the sides of your hip, this might be a very good and effective exercise for you. So I'm going to show you a couple different variations. The first one is going to be seated. So I'm going to start with my left leg and I'm going to have my leg supported, my thigh supported on the bench that I sit on. And what I want to visualize is that I have a pin through my leg like that, and I really want to spin that leg without moving my knee. So this is about as much rotation as I have in my hip. There could be more, but that's fine. And whatever your rotation is, what I want you to do is really see if you can actively go through the maximum end range and then rotate the other way and then so really try to wring out as much rotation as you have. You can help, so I twist it a little bit that way, or I twist it a little bit more that way. And that way you can really wring out. So I want you to feel this around your hip. Yeah, if you feel it in your knee, if you feel it in your ankle, that's not what we want. I really want you to isolate that hip. So if you want to make this a little harder, lift up that leg slightly and push into it with your other hand. So rotate, rotate. And the harder you push, the higher the output is going to be. Yeah? So you can make this really hard on yourself. If this is in any kind of way painful, ease off a little bit. You can also do this lying down. And what you're going to do then is with your opposite hand, push against the leg so you can keep the knee in that same position. So also here we want to pin through the leg, and I just want to rotate that leg like that. What oftentimes happens if you don't hold it here, what can happen is that people start to do that, especially when it gets a little harder, when they get tired. So that's why you lock it here and you press your knee into your hand and your hand into your knee. So there's quite a bit of tension here. And then from there, you rotate and you rotate, rotate and rotate. I can also bring my leg slightly to the side. I'm going to change hands and I'm going to do that same rotation. There and there. I can even do that all the way at my end range, and that's going to be very hard, but I'm also going to make a lot of benefit there. Also here, if I feel any kind of pain, I adjust my position, I change it. So the way we've done it now, whether it's seated or laying down, we always have the hip in a flexed position, so in a bent position. You can do the same thing, but then prone. So you lay on your belly, and you bend your knee. And what you're going to do is you're going to twist that foot that way and that way. And what I'm going to actively do, because if I rotate that way or that way, you see that my hips start to wiggle. I really want to keep my hips still, so I'm going to press my hips into the table and I'm going to twist and twist. Yeah, and this is going to have a slightly different effect, or it's going to feel slightly different as when we had the knee a little bit more up in the hip flexion, because now the muscles have a different length. So it's going to feel different, and wherever you feel the most resistance, that's the movement and the position that you're going to pick. So now you have a few options that you can do to improve that range of motion and control that you have in your hip and really start to work your way through your injury and through your issue. Yeah, if you have any questions about this exercise, feel free to reach out and I'll be happy to answer all your questions.